Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It Dawn. We're going to speak to Venture Captain Gristoff, hopefully about the Spinner of Nightmare's diary, and then begin our search for Ziforian, here in the lower city. Casting a discerning glance at you, the Count bows with dignity. Allow me to express my compliments. You managed to shut down one of the largest slave trade centers in the Abyss. Now that the flesh markets are closed, slave hunters will have more trouble selling their living goods. They'll have to look for new markets, supply chains will fall apart, and the profitability of the trade will drop. I have to admire your work. You've planted a rather sharp dagger into the back of the slave trade of the Midnight Isles. I found the Spinner of Nightmare's diary. Gristoff smiles dryly. I'm sure the Hyler will be thrilled to learn of your discovery. I hope, however, that when I encourage him to launch another suicidal raid in pursuit of the Spinner of Nightmare's head, if he finds his death, I hope that neither you nor I will be accessories to the horrible crime. Sometimes I fear that by keeping Hylor free, we're enabling a person obsessed with revenge, one suffering from a severe mania. I think the second time we spoke to Hylor about the Spinner of Nightmares, there was either a comment he made or refused to make. I don't actually remember the detail, but something stood out to me that seemed to indicate that everything was not as he was telling it. I have two theories. One, Hylor and the Spinner of Nightmares used to be together, and they had a daughter. The daughter is currently residing with the mother instead of the father. Or two, Hylor is the Spinner of Nightmares. Maybe something happened, like his daughter died to something he couldn't control, and it broke his mind. And so he tried to create something tangible for him to hunt down to try and protect his daughter. But I feel like if it was the latter, he wouldn't have the position in the Pathfinder society that he currently has. So I'm leaning towards the former, but we'll see. Alright, let's talk to Burgaz. The one-eyed demon greets you without enthusiasm. Bed, booze, or bargain, what brings you here? I'm looking for Ziforian. Do you know where he is? Maybe I do, and maybe I don't. It's not my place to gossip with customers. I'm an innkeeper, not a spy. So buy yourself something to drink and stop wasting my time. I've got a special liquor you should try. A true rarity. 100,000 gold. That's a little steep. We're not as wealthy as we used to be. I pay 100,000 gold coins and drink the liquor under the demon's demanding gaze. The liquor is revolting, savoring of rotten meat and mold, but the aftertaste is surprisingly tart and pleasant. The demon gives a short, creaky laugh, as if a swarm of crickets had awakened in his lungs. Ziforian, huh? Hardly anyone remembers that name. He was an ambitious son of a gun, sharp and tenacious. But he was hasty in his attempts to overthrow Nocticula. Our Lady in Shadow remembers all too well how she was underestimated by the demon lord Viria Vaxis, so she dealt with Ziforian before he could stab her in the back. She ruined him completely. When that lump of bleeding flesh opened its eyes and moaned, we were shocked it still lived and breathed. On that day, Ziforian's name was relegated to Illusionira's past and forgotten. But I've seen him once or twice among the beggars. He sits at the threshold of the Battle Bliss arena, begging for gold, and no one recognizes him. Nocticula didn't just break his body, but his spirit. So far as I know, he's never tried to take his vengeance on her. He has plenty of reasons to want revenge. Oh yes. Alright, to the Battle Bliss. I guess we could have just walked out the back of the tavern. I think both ways are just as fast. Alright, so is it going to be a regular beggar, or is it going to be a named character now? Take a quick look around.
Ahead.
Is it true that Shivara tried to kill you, but you talked to her and she ran away in tears? That's amazing.
I know the way.
That's some dynamic dialogue. Hey, that scumbag, Ermengaleth. He promised me a fight with Gelderfang. Then the whole league jumped on me and knocked me out cold. The champion didn't even show up to the arena.
Follow my lead.
Ah, I know him well. This is the one that caused the massacre at the flesh markets. Now the slavers buy their bodyguards in bulk. The Vagrant is repulsive, even by the standards of the Abyss. His lumpy scarred face makes you think he was put through a meat grinder, then shaped back into a semblance of his former body, and left to live out his life. His tall and once impressive figure has been shattered. His arms are covered in the protruding lumps of unset bones that left to heal improperly. Beggar's clad in many layers of dirty, smelly rags, onto which hundreds of keys are sewn, from tiny toy box keys to a giant cast iron key that bows the demon's neck almost to the ground. So, looking for Ziforian. He's long dead, but that doesn't seem to be stopping you. Well, so what do you want with a dead man? Ziforian, the master of lies and trickery. I remember fighting him. What do you know about Nahindrian crystals? There's a tale told in Illusionaira, a tale about crystals that grant immense power. What exactly are they, and from where do they draw this power? No one seems to know. I've seen something like it only once before. I found the first crystal in the Isle of Vazglar, and it seemed useless to me. It contained a great deal of power, but it was of no use whatsoever. I meant to give it to my patron, as he would have found a way to use it, but I never had the chance. Some feeble mortal mage managed to steal the crystal from me. He locked himself in a tower, examined the crystal, studied it, and managed to find some use for it. But he was under Nocticula's protection, so I never tried to hunt him down. Oh. He was a storyteller. Right? I mean, it lines up. The demon grins unpleasantly. I bet you're thinking I'm just going to tell you the name you seek, then you can rush off to have a chat with that mage. Not a chance. The mage wasn't a demon. He was a mortal who served Nocticula's arcane needs back in the day. Kicked the bucket long ago. All that's left of him is the tower in the upper city, locked and protected by magic. Many have tried to get inside in the hopes of stealing something of value, but their remains rotted long ago. No use talking about them now. Ah, are you curious now? You'd like to have a poke around in that tower, wouldn't you? Perhaps you could find something of use in there, yes? Ziforian gives a mocking grin, then sighs and takes a single key from his rags, handing it to you with a sweeping gesture. Take it while I'm still feeling generous. This will open the way into the tower. When I ruled Illusionaira, I made sure I had a key for every hideout and tucked away nook in the city. You never know when they might come in handy. Here, take this key and get lost. Don't throw me a coin with you hanging about. And take a closer look at this surprisingly selfless demon. Something spiteful and vicious lurks in the depths of this beggar's eyes. He looks like a predator waiting in ambush, or rather, a scavenger waiting impatiently for his prey's agony to finally end so he can enjoy his meal. Whatever his motives, this demon obviously does not wish you well, is already counting down the minutes to your imminent demise. I remember. I've heard of this place. It's a tower, supposedly filled with treasures left there after the death of an ancient mage. But no one could prove there is any truth to these rumors, because not one of the daring adventurers who managed to get in ever returned. The place is a death trap. Ziforian is probably just toying with us. He's pretending to be helpful, only to send us to certain death. You're giving me the key, just like that. With a philosophic shrug, the demon answers, Yeah, why not? I don't need it. I don't need anything from you, except for you to leave me alone. Now go on, get lost. The Isle of Vazglar, where is that? Yes, Vazglar. A wild place, an island in Ishiar, deserted. No one really cared about it. I had a secluded lair there where I kept all sorts of nasty tricks for Nocticula. Anyone who'd found my den could have made a tidy profit. But not so long ago, the island sank unexpectedly. No point trying to look for it anymore. Except for, we have a kid that can dive down into the ocean. Now, why are these crystals called Nahindrian? Who knows? It's a whim of fashion. The thing is, they're not actually Nahindrian at all. Nahindri was a demon lord, the master of treasures, dungeons, and shiny trinkets. He had crystals such as these, I really doubt Nocticula would have been able to kill him all those centuries ago. Back then, they were just called purple crystals. But if my theory about them being something that's mined from the corpses of demon lords is correct, maybe they first found them in Nihindri, and that's why they're called Nihindrian crystals, because that's where they were first discovered. You're lying to me. You're trying to lure me into a trap. The demon's ugly maw breaks into a malicious grin. You'll probably die there. Or maybe you won't, and you'll find out what Chimera wants. It was Chimera who sent you, right? She was the one who turned me into Nocticula back in the day. Now she wants to topple her mistress to take her place, just as I once tried to. That's why she wants this crappy crystal so much. So be it, I say. Whoever loses this fight, I'll be the winner, and I'll savor the outcome. You, Chimera, Nocticula, may you all drop dead, crowd each other's throats, and strangle each other with your own intestines. You're all scum, and I'll pee on your corpses as they float by on an ocean of your blood. Share your knowledge with me. I know a lot about Elysian, and about its current ruler too. Trust me, staying in power in this city wasn't easy. What would you like to know? What did you do to fall so low? I was overly hasty. I had power back then, and it grew with every passing day. Lamashtu's belch. I was just a step away from becoming more powerful than Nocticula and toppling her from her throne. And why not? After all, that's exactly how she got where she is now, after she took down that toothy old freak, Vira Vaxis. I was about to start my coup, had even found a powerful patron, Sulk with Benoff, a Nocticula's brother, who held a serious grudge against her. But before I had time to start, that sly mortal mage stole an important thing from me, a thing that could have shifted the balance of power. When that red-headed little woman learned about my plans, she turned me into Nocticula. She struck before I could. I fell, and the red-headed harlot took my place. Ah, Chimera. I should have strangled you the moment you appeared in the abyss. What do you think of Elysian today? It's the same pile of crap it was when I was in charge. Here in the abyss, everything changes constantly, but nothing really changes at all. I could tell you just how much better the city was when I ran things, but it would be a lie. Back in my day, it was no different. Just as I did, Chimera rules this crazy lot with an iron fist, subduing them through terror and violence. It doesn't take a genius to do that. You just need to be absolutely ruthless, and have enough power to be able to drown any insolent scum in his own blood. Actually, it can't be done by any brainless deskerite who can crush mountains. We can't count how many corpses are impaled on his spiky claw. Got any advice on how to survive in this place? The demon responds with fervor, the words positively bursting out of him. Do not trust anyone, and once you ascend high enough, be especially suspicious of the unexpected gifts that will suddenly start being showered upon you. No one here does anything without a reason. With a bitter chuckle, the incubus makes an obvious effort to stem his outpouring of hard-won knowledge. That's enough about that. Whatever you say, stranger. I'm leaving. With a malicious grin, the incubus croaks hoarsely as you leave. Enjoy your walk around Elysian. Alright, so let's go back. I'm going to grab Woljiv, because we're going to go to the upper city now. And I'd like to have him on hand just so we can easily grab whatever loot might be on the rooftops. We'll probably do his companion quest first, since we're going to have him on hand. I think all the quests we currently have are in the upper city. Let me double check. Yeah, it's saying it's in the 10,000 Delights, but this quest is taking us to the Upper City as well.
As it. I am prepared. That is not far.
Alright, so I think we're going to climb to the Upper City. Over here.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan. Get it.
Alright, do a little better, Lan.
The mongrel did it.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know what. Maybe I should have Windwag with me too. Lance suddenly stops and presses his hand to his mouth. Even half of his face drains of color, while the scaled half acquires a yellowish tinge. A thick black drop of something seeps out of his eye and rolls down his cheek, leaving a dark streak. I'm fine. Takes a few steps but staggers like a sailor on a ship. I guess Savimalek is closer than I thought. There's so many demons here. Why'd I sense this one in particular? You're definitely not fine. What's wrong with you? Must have eaten something that did. Lan pauses, waiting for a spasm to pass. Alright, there's no point in hiding it. It's definitely because of Savimalek. I don't just feel where he is. It's like I'm being ripped to pieces from the inside. Like, every inch of my body is on fire. When it happened the first time, I thought I was a goner, but I'm still alive for now. I'm ready to break that demon's neck. You know, I had to eat a rotten rat once. Right now I feel like I've just eaten a dozen of them. Should we stop? No. No, anything but that. Every minute I spend in this quarter is like torture. I feel like Amadeus Herald being forced to set foot inside a brothel. So Savimalek is in the Upper City. Hold on, we'll find him. Lan clenches his teeth. Savimalek is here. Close. The sooner we find him, the better. I don't understand. I haven't been affected by his ritual. Then why? He clutches his head. Darn it. I run straight into his open arms, if it'll only make this stop. One more thing. Never thought I'd say this. We should invite Windwag. The fight with Savimalek is her fight too. Alright, so I guess we're gonna backtrack.
Well,
And go grab
this
her as
didn't
well.
Go well.
I'm gonna swap out for that. Well, maybe we'll wait. Well, if he's out in the streets, which I doubt he is, I don't want to not have Windwag on hand. Plus, we're taking a beating from this rooftop. We might have to rest. That's right, we had Ivu do that. Ivu probably should have been the one resting or doing that check for us. Yeah, I really don't have anyone I want to replace with Windwag. Gosh darn it. I guess I can get rid of Woljif, map out the Upper City, find out if I even need to bring him. Because I don't want to get rid of Seela. Mark of Justice is too good, and she's a great tank. I can't get rid of my main character for obvious reasons. I wouldn't anyway, because he's the best DPS that we have. Need the buffs from both Social and Nenio. Some people use times of war as an excuse for cruelty. You Hell Knights are just as cruel in peacetime. It is horrifying. It seems horrifying right up until the moment we need to ask us for protection. then all our methods are met with approval. How often are you asked for protection, though? like how justifiable is that
I know
argument?
the way.
As far as I know, they weren't asked to join the Crusades. They just showed up. Alright, Windwag. Not well equipped, but we'll make it work. I guess we can also use Tila for trickery checks. She doesn't have great trickery, but it's better than none at all. There was a time where she was our primary trickery skill character. Our primary trickery companion? Whatever.
Ready
At one
for
time, she's the only one that could open chests and disable locks, or traps. I know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you guys can figure it out too. Yeah, I think I'll just deal with Lan and Windwag's quest first, since they're both in my party. And then we'll do Woljif's, and then probably Greyboars. We have a lot of stuff to do up here. Emperor City is a busy place. Okay.
Together we stand. This was simple enough.
No, it's a good reason these are lockpicks up.
Call me again if you need to.
Follow my lead.
There's a portal down. Don't want to go that way yet. Good quick save. Alright, so there's a fair bit of loot over here.
As it should be.
We don't need to take the portal down quite yet. I feel like the frame rate is a little worse than it was in the previous areas. Well, the demon looks bored out of his wits. He shifts his attention to you and barks. What do you want? Who do you think I am? Everybody knows who you are. You're Don Quixote, the hard-hitting outsider from Galarian, who's been making such a stir in our sleepy little town. We respect you, sir. We don't want any trouble. Alright? I want to go through. The demon gives you a bored look, then shrugs. Go on in then. You're clearly not a gutter snipe. You look too respectable. I've heard your name before, so why not? Alright, so now that the skill checks have been completed at least once over here. Wait, wasn't there another way up? Or is it all down? It's all down. We'll just use the elevator, so we don't risk getting hurt.
That is not.
Hello there. The stones in this wall are oddly shaped. They seem to be the body parts of demons who have been petrified, chopped into pieces, and used as building material.
Our victory.
Oh gosh darn it. Why am I in turn-based? No thank you. Your attempts to interfere with Lord Baphomet's plans serve no purpose. We'll find you wherever you go. So I saw their names, and I was suspicious right off the bat. The Minotaur is probably on a problem. What is he? Just a follower of Baphomet?
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
They're not really properly buffed up here. Get these three back here.
Into the fray!
They'll beg me to stop. I'll remove this obstacle.
And Bismuth went down immediately. Alright. Wait, why didn't she run away? Okay. Well, we have a resurrect scroll. Raise dead scroll. We'll be fine. Maybe.
The light, take you!
Let's try this way.
Where's Socio at? Did he get his summons out? Yeah, it looks like he did.
This will hurt.
You're irrelevant. This condition is irrational.
Don't die? Let's see if we can freeze him, actually.
I dedicate my body to science.
Begone, fiend!
I don't see... Oh, there they are. Alright, rest of it should be just cleanup duty.
My blade!
Big scary guy's dead.
A calculated risk.
I assumed we'd be safer in the upper city. I don't know why I assumed that. We're in the abyss. Oh, whoops, he shouldn't be doing that. Alright, let's heal up Nenio and bring back what's-her-face.
The world has suffered enough.
All right. Advent of rigorous training. Where's that at? Its Advent of Wisdom plus 6 allows its wearer to declare perfect strike 5 more times per day. Okay. I'll take it.
I'll go ahead.
Oh, okay. He said 10,000 delights, so we could have used 10,000 delights to come up here as well instead of climbing up the rooftop.
I know the way.
We'll see where it takes us into the brothel. Make sure I know my way around the city. Okay, it's this door that I never went through. That makes sense. Oh, that's right, I killed people in the 10,000 delights. I never looted their bodies. I think that's what that's from. Should probably also take a look at Wendwag's equipment. I don't think it really matters. The rest of the party will be able to carry her through most of the fights, I think. Oh, that's right, I have her dual wielding axes that aren't equipped. Wait, that's an axe? Oh, she's holding it sideways. Like, from this angle, it looks like a weird dagger. No, it's an axe, she's just not holding it right. Alright. Well, neat. More dead demons, always good. The portal over there, let's say.
Time's not waiting.
The pillar greets you politely. You're a promising young talent. You should follow the path to the Lady of Alexia's manor. The Rapture of Rupture. The Rapture of Rupture. Well, hey, the episode titles are naming themselves. Fantastic. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one we'll continue exploring the Upper City. Probably just map out the whole thing. If I don't trigger Lan and Wendwag's quest, we'll probably go back, grab Woljif, and grab all the loot in just one fell swoop, so it's done. And then focus on doing the companion quests. Again, we'll start with Woljif's, if that's how things play out. If not, we'll start with Lan and Wendwag's and go from there. But we do have a lot of quests to do here. Like, I'm pretty sure all of these are in the Upper City. So, we're gonna be busy for a while. I think he's actually being... Yeah, he's affected by this stuff. We need to take care of that. Wendwag's not.
I know what to do.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and that's what we'll do next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.